This video is brought to you by Play Tracker, the app that tracks your cross-platform game library, achievements, stats, and more. Play Tracker works by connecting to various gaming platforms and combining all your data in one place. It offers a unified cross-platform social experience, advanced game library labeling and sorting, fun challenges and progression system, and stats about games and the types of players who enjoy them. Play Tracker is for all kinds of gamers, like this one.
My top tags across all platforms are dating sim and psychological horror. I'm sure that says nothing about me as a person.
And this one.
My mate Captain Toe Jam 96 and I have a lot of games in common. We should tackle some challenges together.
And even me! I'm better than all of you. Unite your gaming multiverse with Play Tracker today and join the official Second Wind Guild to unlock exclusive profile decorations by playing games recommended by us, a group of ostensibly professional gamers with allegedly great taste in games. Ooh.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to Firelink Podcast, episode number 98 for Thursday, February 5th, 2026. Marty Saliva here, joined by Nick Calandra and producer Eric. Casey Wosu is off gallivanting at his brother's wedding, so he will not be here the next 2 weeks, but don't you guys worry, because somehow Casey left, and we just got a bunch of news and games. So maybe this is the secret. Maybe Casey needs to leave, and that's when the news happens. We're going to be chatting today about this morning's Nintendo Partner Direct, which, in my opinion, is kind of a dud, but we'll talk about some of the highlights, lowlights, and kind of what we want to see from Nintendo from these directs. We'll also be chatting about a new Horizon game got announced. Another new Horizon game. They just keep announcing these games. This one coming from Guerrilla, another multiplayer game. But yeah, I'm curious, Nick, what your thoughts on that is. And then we'll be chatting about the big old games we've been playing. Stuff like Cairn. I know Nick's been put some time into Nioh 3. I've been jamming through Dragon Quest VII. All sorts of good stuff. But before we get started, Nick, you broke news to me seconds before we went live. And so it feels like that kind of needs to be our first story. That being that there is a Baldur's Gate TV series that is going to continue the story of the game in the works at HBO from Craig Mazin, the co-creator of HBO's The Last of Us, as well as Chernobyl. And it's in partnership with Hasbro Entertainment. So it's literally seems like it is going to be continuing the story of Baldur's Gate 3. Maybe some of those, obviously that it's, to get kind of like Fallout, the game is a choices matter kind of game. So who knows what that means, but maybe some of the characters from the show will be there, which just will be very interesting. I kind of assumed eventually we'd get a Baldur's Gate something, but it being announced right now is kind of a surprise. I know, Nick, you were just saying that you feel like Fallout is probably the strongest video game adaptation that we've gotten so far. Do you think a thing like Baldur's Gate could kind of recapture that same magic, especially with someone like Craig Mazin? You know what the hell?
Maybe I'm not as I mean, I guess I'm not as huge on that they're trying to continue the story of Baldur's Gate 3, whatever that means. I really like that Fallout is just set in the universe and it's its own story in that universe. That's
sure.
I guess without a Baldur's Gate 4, they can kind of do that. They just kind of make up their own story as they go. But
yeah.
Part of me I trust HBO to do a good job with it.
Yeah, it says the TV series will feature both existing characters from Baldur's Gate 3 and new ones. I imagine it's going to use almost Baldur's Gate 3 similarly as Fallout games are used in the Fallout series, in that I'm only 3 episodes into the second season, but the first episode of the second season starts off at that roadside motel with the big old dinosaur thing, and that's a place I was at in the game a bunch, and so there was that whole that's from the game. There's a bit in the second episode of the Fallout episode that's this is like Fallout Shelter. They've taken Fallout Shelter the game and somehow turned it into the TV show, which is really neat. So yeah, that's I don't know. It also seems like Baldur's Gate's a better fit for a story like this or a TV show like this than the Elder Scrolls. It's interesting for as big as Skyrim is. I feel like we've never heard anything about like the potential of like a Skyrim movie or anything. It just, I don't know. Is it like too kind of dry fantasy or?
I don't know. The people that are really into the Elder Scrolls lore are really into it. So
Yeah.
I don't know. This could go either way. I mean, the Dungeons and Dragons. Like I think back to like the actual Dungeons and Dragons movie, and that was like
Which is
basically a
great.
cult classic now.
Yeah, I loved it. It's a
So-
bummer that we're not getting more of those, but
I kind of hope they don't do go like the super dark kind of Game of Thronesy fantasy route. I hope it's a bit more D&D feeling, more fun, lighthearted. Because I think we have enough of like the dark fantasy shows. Like, give us something. I think something that felt like the Dungeons and Dragons movie wouldn't be terrible.
yeah, I and also like HBO's already done their like dark fantasy. They've already done Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
like they
I
kind
want
of
to compete with Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
do
they
something
kind of
different.
don't need to. Like everyone else is chasing that Game of Thrones high, but like HBO also has Game of Thrones that they're currently, putting out. So, yeah, I don't know. That'll be interesting. Craig Mazin does have a comedy background as well. He like wrote, I think, The Hangover 2 and The Hangover 3. He's got a
Right.
very weird, like his filmography is like some of the worst comedies and then some of like the most beloved dramas. So, appreciate someone who could do it both. Yeah, once again, that story just broke. There's no casting, no this thing. Craig Mazin is busy with the last season of The Last of Us, so this probably won't be on TV until 2028, 2029 at the earliest. So, just something interesting to keep an eye on going forward.
Indeed.
Yeah. Well, let's get to our first real topic. None of those fake topics. This morning's Nintendo Partner Direct. People were speculating that, are we going to get a first-party Nintendo showcase? What's in the works? We don't know yet when the actual Nintendo Direct. They usually hold one in February, so maybe one's still coming. But this Partner Direct had speaking of Bethesda, that was kind of the big one more thing was that they announced Indiana Jones, Fallout 4. And Oblivion were all coming to Switch 2. They showed off a little bit more like Resident Evil Requiem and Pragmata. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is coming to Switch 2. They showed a little more of that Orbitals game, which I think looks really cool. That's kind of looks like an 80s anime take on the co-op of It Takes Two or Split Fiction. But no big kind of bombshells, no big like crazy third party reveals. It was a lot of just like, hey, remember this game that we've shown off before? Well, it's coming to Switch. I know
Their partner showcases kind of feel like they're just catching up with the rest of the industry at this point.
Yeah, which is strange because I keep assuming like this is like Square doesn't have that many games revealed. Like that we know about. So I keep assuming more are going to get shown off at a thing like this, or like more Atlas games, or just more like revealing cool indies and stuff. But it does just feel like, and granted, we're still in that early period. We're still in, from what sources said that a lot of third parties and indies didn't get test kits, dev kits until the console released. So, that's only 7 months ago or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It's like I'm not worried about the Switch 2 like whatsoever. Like this is a console that's going to be around for the next 7 or 8 years. But I do think like Nintendo by showing off some things could kind of turn the messaging around on this, right? Like I feel like people are even some folks when they ask me, should I buy a Switch 2? I'm like, well, you'll buy one eventually. If you have the money now, it's probably not gonna be going down in price.
Yeah.
It's probably gonna go up in price. So, but like games wise, Donkey Kong's amazing, but then almost everything else I'm playing on it is just an indie or a third party game that I'm playing Dragon Quest on it. I could be playing Dragon Quest anywhere. So I wouldn't say Switch is worth buying for that, but I don't know how you feel like 7 months into Switch. Are you just kind of shrug?
Yeah, I sold my ROG Ally X that I bought, or just the ROG Ally, X, not the super powered one, but I sold that, and I sold my other handheld device that I had, the Lenovo Legion Go, to upgrade to a Asus AI 8 Plus, whatever it's called, basically the more powerful version. And I've
Is
gone
that the
back
Xbox
from
one?
No, it's a
Okay.
different one. I'm
Gotcha.
forgetting the name of it. It's an MSI Claw A8 MSI Claw AI 8 Plus is what it's called.
I hate all. I hate that name. Don't like that name.
Yeah, it's a weird name. Anyways, it's the most powerful handheld I've had. I've kind of dropped my Switch to go back to playing indies on that, my Switch is kind of back to being for first party Nintendo games, and I'm kind of left out to dry at the moment for that. Yeah, it feels like, I don't know, like just feels like they're not keeping up with like the demand for, new exciting Nintendo stuff. I can get all the third party stuff on anything else I have, which, I know Nintendo players are, very focused on that console. So a lot of these announcements are exciting for that, but I still can't really picture playing any of these, bigger AAA games on it, because I don't really think they're going to run all that well still. And so much of the reporting is that they don't run well, and then the Digital Foundry and stuff are shocked when it does run really well, like the recent previews for Capcom stuff.
Yeah, Resi 9 apparently runs nice on it. I downloaded the Pragmata demo. I did not play. That was literally on my list of things to do before the podcast. And I'm gonna be honest, I didn't do it. Completely forgot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm in the same boat where like I just don't have any desire to play the big AAA games on my Switch. Like that's not like, and that's like no. And I'm fine with that because that's not what like I use the Switch for. But that said, like you mentioned, I know Nintendo has these games in the works, and I think they have backed away a little bit from announcing a game too early, and then you're in a Tears of the Kingdom scenario where it's like years and years, and you keep delaying the thing. And so, in the grand scheme of things, I think it's probably a good move that they do this. But
because Donkey Kong was like 6 months from announcement to release or something. Was that what?
Way less. It was because I think it was revealed alongside the hardware, like in March, and then it came out in July. So. I mean, same thing as with Mario Kart and everything. So, I'm imagining that within the next couple weeks to a month, we'll get a Nintendo Direct where they'll show what their fall games are. Like we know we're getting a Pokemon Presents at the end of the month, which we get every year at the end of February, and this will probably be the big 30th anniversary one. So we'll probably see what Gen 10 is all about, as well as if they're going to do anything with any of the old games, bringing them to Switch. And I would imagine Pokemon's one of the big fall games, and then I feel like a Mario or something is probably in the works to stick in the fall, or maybe some Zelda ports. But one of the things I did like, there's a Bomberman collection of all the old Bomberman games, which I was excited about. And a Wing Potato over in the Patreon, thank you so much, Wing Potato, said, as Marty said on his stream, I'd love for them to get the N64 Bombermans next and see if we can't get Second Attack to make an appearance on a revival of Game Night. I would love the N64 Bomberman games. I adored those. And apparently in the Japanese Direct, they showed that there is a Goemon, Legend of the Mystical Ninja collection coming to Japan that has not been dated for the US. So hopefully that comes here as well. And Resident Chuni with a $2 dono. Thank you so much, Resident Chuni. Said, I think Metroid 4 traumatized them. Yeah, that was another thing. Nintendo had their financial quarter report, and it doesn't seem like either of the SKUs of Metroid Prime 4 broke 1 million combined. It seems like they did. But I don't know. Metroid was never like a big... Metroid's one of those weird franchises that like I feel like hardcore people like us and people who generally watch and listen to our stuff like hold Metroid up as one of those. It's Mario, it's Zelda, and it's Metroid, but like, man, Metroid is sales-wise way below those. Like, not critically, but like sales-wise is way. I mean, it's below Animal Crossing, it's below Splatoon, it's below like it's like Star Fox level. It just so happens they have a handful of games that are like beloved and some of the most well-regarded games of all time, but. Yeah, I mean, I'm very curious about the development of Metroid Prime 4. It sounds like it was one of those things that like Retro came in and,
multiple times.
Yeah, and Retro kind of came in and like got it out the door, and kind of just at least like had some life left in the body. So I would be curious if they could have another try to just do one completely fresh, but we'll see. This the hardware. Speaking of hardware, it also got me thinking. I don't know if you saw this story, Nick. I don't have it in the doc, but there was a Valve a post on Steam from Valve where they mentioned. I put it in the chat, but they mentioned the various hardware things that they announced a few months ago. You know, the juiced up Steam Deck, the Steam controller, the Steam frame, and the Steam machine, that they don't have news yet on price or release when it's going to come out, directly because of memory and storage shortages because of AI. And so they said they still feel confident that they will launch in the first half of the year. They just don't have anything to say yet, which just really fucking sucks. Like as a kid growing up, and then not even as a kid, like as an adult, like it was normal for, if you didn't have money at the start of a generation, you could wait, and then consoles would become more affordable, and you could jump in with a $200, PS3 or 360, or back in the day, things will drop down to 100. Whereas now, like these consoles are literally going up in price. They're 5 years old, they're 6 years old, and they're going up in price, and that's not going to change. And even if like these shortages stop, everything that's gone up in price, that's the new normal of price. Like that just sets the new kind of bar to where everything else is going to be from there, which really fucking sucks.
For now, I think I think a revolution of the people is coming at some point. Because my God, I don't want to get into politics too much, but watching the reactions of all these companies around the world removing people from power for being in the Epstein files, and all these AI tech bros are all in it, and I am waiting for their downfall. I had a post go viral because I made fun of Palantir's stock dropping like 25%.
Oh yeah,
I'm like, lower, you can go lower, keep going.
Yeah, just keep going down. Yeah,
keep going.
I see that with crypto and the same thing, where it's like this. What a fucking
just all these fucking people pump and dump and just hurting our hobby, hurting everybody in every single way.
Planet.
It's just I mean,
hurting the literal planet.
My unpack tomorrow is on this AI stuff with like the Genie 3 stuff, and I mean it's so fucking telling that like the Microsoft CEO is like, we better find a use for this AI stuff or the public's going to turn against us. Like, dude, you never had public approval in the first place.
Yep.
Everybody hates you.
Yep. 100%.
What a touch. That's my rant. But yes, take down the AI, take them down, take them all down.
Yep.
I want my games and computer hardware and all that to go down in price, not up.
Agreed.
Fuck the people making it go up in price, because I don't know. As Andy Van says, take down Shinra. Yep, time to do that. Time to take down Shinra.
Planet is dying, Cloud. We'll have obviously more on both Nintendo Directs if they're coming. We'll have more on the Steam machine as it gets near, hopefully, to release, and for more on the fucking AI disaster quagmire that the video game industry finds itself in. Like Nick mentioned, check out that episode of Unpacked that Nick and Eric are putting together for tomorrow morning. So there you go. The other big reveal today, kind of out of nowhere, was this news of a new Horizon game, as in Horizon Zero Dawn Forbidden West. This one called Horizon Hunter's Gathering, a co-op action game coming to PS5 and PC. And this is separate from the Horizon Steel Frontiers game, which was a NetEase project. That's right.
Yeah.
And whereas that one looked visually kind of, it was like a multiplayer take on what the Horizon games look like. This new one, Horizon Hunter's Gathering, which Horizon Hunter's Gathering is weird to say. I will just say.
It's a bad title. Very
a weird
bad
name.
title.
It is being developed by Guerrilla. They said like folks who worked on some of the multiplayer aspects of like Killzone are working on this. But also, as you can see from its visuals, it has a kind of colorful, that Overwatch sheen to it. I don't know, like if there's a better term for that, but the CG trailer kind of looks like a Overwatch CG trailer, right?
You have your finger
on the pulse of. Oh, sorry, what did you say?
I was gonna say visually, the closest thing this looks to, not even Fortnite, is that game from Quantic Dream, Spellcaster Chronicles.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Fortnite. Yeah, I mean, it does. It also does kind of look like Fortnite, though. Nick, as someone who plays, more multiplayer games than me, which is easy because I play none. Did anything about this stick out to you?
Well, yeah, I guess I'm gonna have a little bit of a hot take on it. That one, I don't hate the Horizon series. I generally like it, but I do find the combat relatively kind of boring after a certain number of hours. So I'll say from the trailer, the combat looks more fun than what we get out of Zero Dawn, and I know some people are gonna be back and forth on whether or not moving away from kind of the more realism of Horizon works or not, but I don't know. I kind of dig how this looks. And then they did a little bit of a dev diary for it, and it kind of sounds like it's going to have a structure like Night Rain a little bit, which everybody was on Night Rain until they played it, and then they ended up liking it. So I don't know. Like I'm going into it with an open mind. I'm not like hyped for it or anything, but I personally like. Honestly, I like the visual style of this more than traditional Horizon. As much as beautiful as those games are, I think this just looks more fun, more interesting.
Yeah, I don't get Horizon. Like I it's baffling. Not that I don't get it. I understand the appeal of the core games. I get why they sold a shit ton. It is weird to me that this has become like Sony's most prolific franchise over the last 10 years.
40 million copies.
We've got the 2 core games. We had the expansion packs. We had the VR game, Call of the Mountain. We had Lego Horizon. We've got this. We've got the NetEase game, Steel Frontiers. It feels like I know the game sold a lot, but like I don't know anyone who's like Horizon is my shit. Whereas like there are people who feel that way almost about every other first party Sony game. Like there are people who kind of ride or die for The Last of Us or Uncharted or God of War or Tsushima. And I just don't know anyone who's like crazy about Horizon, but apparently they have to be out there if they keep making these.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I don't think this is going to be free to play. I think it's going to be another, Helldivers 2 kind of $40 title. And I don't know, people like the loop of Monster Hunter games, and cooperative boss battle seems to be in. Like that's kind of the trend that we're moving towards, is kind of more Elden Ring, Night Rain style stuff. So
yeah,
they're like it's definitely checking all the boxes of stuff that's in action combat, roguelike kind of progression, extraction a little bit, a little bit of battle royale in there with the walls closing in and all that. I did like in this trailer though. That it seems like there's different objectives to do. Like there's actually like cooperative puzzles and stuff like that to solve. That got me more interested than just going in and fighting monsters and getting out.
Sure.
Like there was a lot more going on under the hood there.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, there could be something there could be something there. It's also interesting that I'm assuming this was one of the like dozen multiplayer games that Sony had, in development, that a lot of them were, canceled. The seemingly a God of War multiplayer thing, a Spider-Man thing, Last of Us factions. So I'm always curious the ones that didn't get canceled. I was like, okay, so what was here that wasn't in any of those other ones? And maybe it's a smaller team, a smaller project, easier to, keep going.
This seems like a well scoped out project. It's not a massive multiplayer open world. It's mission structure based. So
I also think it's smart.
I think it's gonna do better than people expect. I think Horizon's like kind of one of those that kind of ignores the online, hate trains, and I think it
coming to PS5
kind of
and
through
PC
to the mainstream
is smart. Like it, I think Sony's realized that like they should kind of get into bed with PC as quickly as possible for games, like not only especially for multiplayer games, but also for their single player games. I think the window between release and PC is getting shorter and shorter, which they've seen a lot of success on those. So, we brought up Overwatch a little bit to start, and Blistered Soul with a £2 dono. Thank you so much. Yes, there was also Overwatch news this week. Overwatch 2 drops the 2, officially a pointless sequel. So yeah, Overwatch kind of got its what felt like second big reboot to where it is now just Overwatch again. And it seems like they've leaned heavily on kind of the story driven seasons and campaigns and stuff, like the stuff that people kind of assumed they would be doing with the first big change and never really got to. So did anything for that? Like, do you think this is gonna move the needle at all for Overwatch or for anything?
No idea, really. I mean, Overwatch fans want Overwatch to be good, so
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
They announced a lot of new content for it. I mean, 10 new heroes is a huge announcement for that game. So
Yeah. Which and so it seems like they do have an actual roadmap. Whether they stick to that remains to be seen. I just found that interesting. I know
Blizzard seems to be getting a lot of much needed investment and love under Microsoft, because you've got Overwatch doing its thing, Diablo's getting a massive new expansion. The scuttlebutt is that they're doing a StarCraft third-person shooter finally after all these years.
Ghost, StarCraft Ghost lives.
Yeah.
We might be hearing from that soon, because I think they're kind of doing showcases on all of their properties of like, here's what's going on with blank, and so it'll be interesting. It's funny you mentioned Elden Ring Night Rain earlier, because moving on to our main topic being the kind of big old games we're playing, I feel like we're finally seeing the Elden Ring influence in Souls-likes taking shape. Casey and I, when we played the first 2 hours of Code Vein 2, could immediately see that this is a step up. This feels like the jump from the traditional Souls games to an Elden Ring. And I know you've gotten a chance to play some Nioh 3, right? Is that a game that feels like it's kind of taken the Elden Ring leap? Not in terms of quality, but just in terms of like their kind of design philosophy.
Even though the main difference between Nioh 3 and the rest of them is that they're doing kind of like open world zones it's not a completely interconnected open world. So like, I think there's like 3 big maps in the game. So the first, like, and the maps are actually really big. I'm almost done with the first map after playing through today and last night. I think I put about like 8 hours into the game already. I really actually dig Nioh 3. I think last week I was talking about how I've kind of bounced off Nioh 1 and 2. I didn't really like the mission structure of those games because there wasn't much in the way of exploration, even though I dug the combat. But for me to like really jive with a Souls game, I need that exploration. I need to be able to just get lost and keep finding upgrades and stuff like that. Nioh 3 handles that really well. But it's definitely not like Elden Ring kind of had something around every single corner to like a dungeon or a boss or something. Mm-hmm. Nioh 3 is not that content filled like that. There's definitely stuff around every corner. There's bases to take over and all that kind of stuff, but it's not as boss heavy as like Elden Ring. Gotcha. I wouldn't say like the discovery is mind blowing. It's more I would say like Nioh 3 is closer to like Dark Souls 2 in structure almost. Or maybe Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 3 might be a better comparison. The map's not that confusing.
Yeah. Places feel like they actually fit together as opposed to, fuck it. You went down an elevator and suddenly you're at the top of a building. It's fine. Don't think about it.
But like once you get past that the demo section of Nioh 3 where you beat the first kind of main story boss, they give you an objective that's out in this zone in the northeast, and the map kind of tells you, hey, you need to be recommended level like 38 to be up here.
Okay.
And so from that point on, you kind of just can go anywhere on the map you want. You could go straight there if you think you're ready for it.
Sure.
But in my time, I've been basically doing all the side missions, going to explore every different zone, trying to complete everything to get leveled up to be ready for that. And it's very open-ended progression. You don't have to do anything in any order.
I like that. Which
is nice. Yep. And then there's like Nioh 3 does a really good job too of kind of like I guess a good comparison would almost be Breath of the Wild, in that like everything you kind of do is grading your character in some way. So exploring, like you're finding like the little Korok looking seed guys to get more flasks. There's just like these like floating foxes that you can shoot down with an arrow, and you get mastery points towards either your ninja skill tree or your samurai skill tree. There's loot everywhere. I still don't really love the loot system, but I've learned to not look at it. I just pick everything up.
Yeah.
So
and then do you like every once in a while, do you like sit down and you're like, okay, I'll look at all my shit now and see what I want?
No. I just sort by rarity, and if it's purple, I equip it, and if it's not, I don't think about it ever again.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's something.
Yeah, I mean, if that works, that's probably a good way to. Yeah, it's a good way to carve out that element of the game that I know just does not click with you, which is understandable because you don't want to get bogged down. We've been talking about that for years, getting bogged down in menu hell, and the God of War Ragnarok had the same thing where it was like, I don't want to pause and go into my menu every 5 minutes to get a 5% bonus to my poison damage or whatever.
Yeah. Well, they even, I don't know if Nioh 1 and 2 had it. I'm sure someone in the comments will correct me, but Nioh 3 even has a option to turn on where you can just run over a loot and it automatically picks it up, so you're not having to click R1 every 5 seconds.
I like that. And is there no like encumbrance or anything like that?
Mm-mm. I mean, based on what you equip, there is, but your weight limit, but not. Sure. There's no. If there was encumbrance, I would toss this game out into the snow and put my dog shit on it.
Do you think this will be? Some people in the Patreon I saw were talking about how like they've tried the Nioh games, but they've never like quite gotten into them. Like, do you think this will do anything that'll win over people who've kind of been on the fence, or do you think this is just one of those like, if you like Nioh 1 and Nioh 2, this is more Nioh? So, go ahead.
I mean, I was one of those people on the fence, and it won me over. So
yeah,
I think just adding, because like Nioh 1 and 2's kind of mission structure, I think I've talked about it before, like where the Souls games that I don't end up liking are the ones that like really roadblock you. So if you get stuck at something, you kind of are stuck. You can't just go off and do other things. I think Nioh 2 doesn't really have that problem because you can go do a lot of the side missions and all that. But just, again, it's missing, for me, it was missing that exploration aspect that I love of Souls games. So Nioh 3 really does feel like a more traditional structured Souls game. And I'm really enjoying it for that. So yeah, I think it's worth giving a shot. I think like mechanically Nioh is so much more complicated than any Souls game in combat moves and all that. There's so many more different button combinations to press. Team Ninja loves that for Ninja Gaiden stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that's almost like that kind of like original fighting game pedigree, the Dead or Alive pedigree there that makes sense translating that into a
but the build that I have, I can almost play the game like Sekiro, so I'm kind of loving it.
Nice. I like that. Did you said it's there haven't been as many bosses as kind of Elden Ring's whole turn a corner, find a little dungeon, fight a boss. Like the bosses that are there, have they been memorable at all, or has it just been kind of like big old fights?
Yeah. No, I found some bosses just randomly in the world that aren't tied to story and progression and all that. I think I fought one that was like this lion with like swords on its tail and its legs, which was really cool. That was a really fun duel. So I think I've only fought like 6 or 7 bosses in the first area, and I know there's still more secret ones because there were ones even in the demo area that I didn't find. So it really does nail it nails that kind of exploration aspect that I really wanted from it, which is what's keeping me in. So I'm a little. Some of the reviews have kind of mentioned like some of the later areas feel a bit samey, but as long as the loop kind of stays steady throughout, I'm definitely planning to sink a lot of hours into this.
Nice. Do you think you're going to try any Code Vein at all, or did you try any Code Vein?
I did load up Code Vein 2. A lot of talking. The combat feels weird. Isn't the best thing I can say about it. I think I don't know. I was like getting through like the first cave, and I just didn't feel good to play to me.
Yeah, Casey Casey feels like he peaked on it at the end of the stream. It felt like we were in a dip early on, and then by the end of it, he kind of came around to it. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know if it's one of those like, once you get out of the first zone, it kind of really opens up because the opening area is like a small island, and then you get off the island and you can see the map, and it's, fucking huge.
Yeah, the main thing keeping me from wanting to not play it, or not wanting to play it, is a lot of the reviews just mentioned like the open world isn't fun to explore. Really, there's not a lot to do or find, and so that like, what's the point then?
Yeah,
so,
that feels.
I don't
like
know.
The
it might be one.
Yeah,
it might be one I go back to at some point, but
Yeah, that feels like the classic pitfall that open worlds tend to stumble in, where it's like we made something big, but is it interesting? And we're seeing it's very hard to make an open world that constantly feels interesting. But unless you're FromSoft or Nintendo, a lot of times it's tough to make that open world that really clicks at a consistent pace.
I'm starting to feel like kicking myself for putting Crimson Desert on my target list for our fantasy league, because they've put out those 2 overview videos now.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh.
Everything about it still feels too good to be true, which is so rich coming from fucking me, who like me and Casey are just like, don't go V. But it is like, I just saw the clip of like,
have you watched the
air,
videos?
like jumping from like the flying airship to another flying airship, and I'm like, I don't know what is this going to run on? Is this going to run like? Is my PlayStation going to die if it tries to run this?
Have you watched the 2 overview videos they put out?
I haven't watched the full videos. No, I've just seen a bunch of clips, and it all just feels like it's not real. Maybe it is real. Maybe it's just infinite Chinese money and resources.
Korean, but yeah.
Oh, Korean. My mistake. Sorry, I was reading. I read a story earlier this week about the rise of gaming in China, like bouncing off Genshin Impact and sort of the big AAA push there. So, yeah, my mistake.
Well, the video they put out today talked about combat, and there's literally like a huge number of just grappling moves, wrestling moves. I'm like, what? It's like there's so much going on in this game.
It's just nuts. I just look at this game and I'm like, what is this? Is this real?
No, I'm talking about like wrestling moves with in the combat,
power
like
bombs,
being able to grab people and suplex them.
Fuck yeah. It's finally happening. I can finally be my big wrestling boy inside my fantasy world.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I still can't imagine. I don't know. Maybe this game's just going to be really good. That would be awesome. It'd be awesome if this game came out and I was like, well, holy shit, it turns out it's as good as it looks, and it looks very good. So, yeah, we'll see. That's coming pretty soon, right? Is that
March?
Sheesh.
March,
very soon.
19th, I think, or something.
Yeah, I think they said that it already went gold, which is crazy. There you go. Couple super chats before we hop over to another game. Far Too Many Frogs with a $2 dono. Thank you so much. Someone asked if I wrote your frog video, Marty. Yeah, I channeled your spirit. I channeled your spirit of loving frogs into that video, which I thought turned out delightful. Shout out to Jess for the edit. And then S6 is my handle. Thank you so much. $5 Australian. Is second win keen for Overwatch 3, which is named Overwatch as per Overwatch 1 before Overwatch 2, which is actually just Overwatch 1. Blizzard are dumb. You know what? At least I think calling it Overwatch 2 always felt kind of dumb. And so it feels like they're kind of fixing a mistake. And plus, I think they said that the creative lead whose idea, like Overwatch 2's whole idea, has been gone from the company for several years, so it is almost like the person who really cared about it isn't even there anymore. So it does feel like, well, instead of just going forward, rip the Band-Aid off.
It's Destiny 3 just going to be Destiny.
Destinies. You could put a 3 somewhere in the word Destiny. Yeah, D3 Stiny.
Oh God, please don't bring that trend back.
D3 Stiny. Shout out to D3 Stiny. Another big game that is currently available that I know you talked a little bit about last week. I've got a chance to play quite a bit more, and I'm loving it. One of my favorite games of the year so far is Cairn. I know. Yeah,
that was after you weren't huge on the demo.
Wasn't huge on the demo. No, was not. And I think it was one of those. I was playing the demo kind of like passively, like kind of not really paying too much attention. Like this is a game to where like you kind of need to like sit down and really.
Yeah, it seems like a bad idea to not pay attention.
Agreed. That's my problem with demos is like I'm kind of just like, are you going to hook me right away or not? And no, once I really sat down with it, I restarted, and then I'm about four hours. I looked at my full map. I think I'm about like halfway up the mountain. Just really fucking good, and I love. It's just this one mountain, and yet it feels open world in like in how you're like, well, which side am I going to climb up? And because of that, I'm going to find shit that I could not find if I was climbing up another side. I'm going to find like the former camp of someone who came up before, little remnants of like, there's kids. Like I found a school inside the mountain, and I'm like, what? Like this is like just kind of incredible stuff. You know, constantly rewarding you with like incredible views and all those, the all powerful vistas, but also just, the like moment to moment gameplay is incredibly tense and like wildly satisfying. And it does create, it takes the act of climbing up a mountain or a hill or something in Breath of the Wild, which was like a small component of the overall game, and just makes that everything. And you know, it's kind of I think this game is a technical marvel that it between how it is artistically presenting the cliff faces itself in a way to where you can immediately know, oh, this is somewhere I could put my hand, or I could put my foot, or ooh, I could try to kind of do the little spread thing where I'm kind of crab walking up a thing, and without, you know, yellow paint, without any of that, but with just level design and environmental design. Really loving it so far. Yeah, just a fucking delightful game.
Yeah, when I talked about it last week, I said like I want to see, you know, like just Uncharted, for example. You know, so much of that game is just shooting people all the time. You know, and I'm like, what if you like really took something like this, and one of the levels is climbing the mountain and making the mechanics to do that in a way that's not just a, you know, a moment to moment thing. It's a actual part of the adventure that you're on. Like, I really like some of the games that have come out from the indie space of like just focusing on, I mean, you know, Death Stranding too, which, you know, independent studio, whatever, but like just movement through the world is something that like I think so many of these like open world AAA games and all that really need to think about more. Yeah, because that's part of the fun is the journey in those open worlds, and when you're just following a waypoint or whatever and just spamming jump up a mountain, like that's not engaging. Like, make me engage with the world at hand. And like that's I love that like the indie scene is like really digging into how do we make players engage with these massive, beautiful worlds we create in a meaningful way.
Yeah, I completely agree. And but mechanically loving it.
This is also the first vertical open world.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. Yeah. I mean, I guess Tears of the Kingdom, you know, was talking about that. But yeah, it is you're just climbing a mountain. Like, and it's just every time you think you're at the top, you're like, oh no, there's more mountain I gotta climb. But I'm just really, really impressed with it. So I know obviously Yahtzee enjoyed it in his review earlier this week, and you've been singing its praises for a few weeks. So just wanted to throw in my hearty recommendation there too for anyone. It's also you can tell it's French. And I mean that positively. Like, it's got a French sensibility about it. It reminds me of there was I guess it was French Canadian, but that game Seasons that came out a few years ago by the Scavengers. I think that their name was.
Studio made the Darwin Project, the Battle Royale game,
and then But Season I thought was like great and like beautiful, like really like contemplative, and I feel like that I get a lot of that from the same kind of vibes from Cairn. But it also just has like a really robust mechanical climbing system that is probably the best climbing system I've ever seen in a game. It's not something that would work in every game because it does take you a very long time to get a very small distance, but it's constantly rewarding to be like, there's no way I'm going to get up this cliff face, and then you get to the top and look down, and you're like, fuck yeah, I got up this cliff face. So just a really great game, and one I thoroughly recommend. Mr. Ticketron over in the Patreon, thank you so much, Mr. Ticketron, said, I just got to a tent with Marco and Cairn, and boy, oh boy, Ava's got that Mamba mentality. The game is amazing, and the flow state you can get in after having done a bit of rock climbing is so nice, and the game is just so accurate. Well, rock climbers really be contorting their bodies crazy style. I found a like r/rock climbing thread about this game. It was just a rock climbing subreddit talking about this game, and like everyone being like, it is insane how like real world climbing techniques work in this game. Just really impressive. I don't know, just very impressed by it.
Just announced yesterday it sold 300,000 copies so far.
That rules. I'm extremely glad to hear that.
I think it's going to keep selling more after word of mouth.
Yeah, it just feels like everyone who plays it is like it's. I think it's approachable in a way that Baby Steps didn't feel approachable to me. I know those are very different games, very different tones, but like I wanted to be able to join the Baby Steps train of like critics I knew whose opinions I really value were like, oh my God, this game is so rewarding once you wrap your head around it. And I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to wrap my head around it. Like I'm still going to be dog shit at this game. Whereas, with Cairn, it seems difficult at first, but it quickly I was able to wrap my head around it, and like I now feel confident that I was like, well, this seems like it's gonna be very hard to climb, but I think I'm getting better at this, and I'm understanding like what my body can do. I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure. I have no doubt.
There's one section of that game that took me a while and was driving me nuts, and I had to really fuck around to get my way out of it.
Oh no! Did you like 127 hours yourself? You're like, I gotta cut my arm off.
It's close to it. Yeah.
But yeah, really great game. Big ol' reco from there. And I've been playing it on Steam Deck too, and it works great on Steam Deck, which is surprising. I guess shouldn't be surprising because it's an indie game, but still impressive. And the other big new release is Dragon Quest VII Reimagined, which I finished the demo a few weeks ago, and then it was one of those demos where your progress carries over, which I always love. And so the game came out, and I was able to just carry my progress over on Switch, as well as you got there's some bonuses if you had save files for any of the other Dragon Quest games on Switch, but I'm really loving this game so far. I know some of the hardcore Dragon Quest fans, which I do not count myself one of, are a little peeved because it feels like this is the third version of Dragon Quest VII. There was the PS1 original, a 3DS remake, and then this. And it's kind of like the Persona 3 situation where none of them are the true best version of the game. Like all of them contain stuff that the other ones don't and remove things from the other ones and stuff. So there's no like definitive version. That being said, the quality of life changes to this. Plus just, I really like the kind of claymation looking into a diorama aesthetic. It took me a smidge to get used to because I saw someone said that all the characters look like Team America World Police characters. And I was like, fuck, I can't not see that now.
Uh-oh.
But the performances are really, like the voice performances are really good. And I like that the main story of the game is kind of like these separate vignettes where you're unearthing islands are appearing from kind of different time periods. And you're kind of dealing with like the story of the island throughout time as like a singular goal. And then you kind of move on to the next island, which I'm really liking. The combat's pretty basic Dragon Quest stuff, but it moves nice and fast, and I like the dungeon crawling and everything. And this is a very simple, like this has the bones of a PS1 RPG with the kind of the visual panache of a modern HD RPG. But I'm really enjoying it so far, and I think this is one. I'm a little like the Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 HD didn't hook me. Like visually,
yeah,
I
we
loved
talked about that.
just
I think we talked about that last week, where like the combat is just too old school.
Yeah, and this is still kind of that. There is like a job system that adds a little bit of depth to it, but I find this one, the story and the presentation just makes this immediately charming and super playable. So, yeah, I've been enjoying, plugging away like an hour a night at this. So, this will probably be my RPG for the next couple of weeks. So I'm jamming
a lot
through.
of the media coverage on this was a little bit harsh on it because it's apparently too easy.
Yeah, I mean, there's difficulty modes and everything. Like, there's some, one of the things is, you right from the beginning of the game, you have this spell called Zoom, which is like a fast travel spell. But you can also now use it in dungeons to just immediately leave the dungeon. Whereas before you couldn't use Zoom in a place with a ceiling. So like you would have to either, claw your way out of the dungeon. Yeah, or use a very specific item. So they've, to me, that is a quality of life change. Also, if you really don't want to use Zoom, just don't do it. I feel like, you can kind of create your own difficulty mode if you just want to choose, if you want to choose not to use any pitons, and which I guess you can. There is a mode, I guess, in Cairn to not use pitons. I think there's like a free solo mode. To where you're literally climbing without a rope. So, which seems dangerous. I need to use my rope and my pitons very often, so I'm not playing that mode. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. Do you think you're gonna give this one a try, or do you think kind of your thoughts on the other Dragon Quest games? Sully did.
Yeah, I want to give it a try. Just don't know when I will because there's so many games coming out over the next few weeks. I want to play. We went from like being a little bear there to start the year to oh god, every day we're getting review copies.
Yeah, and Steam Next Fest is coming up soon, and there's even I keep buying games on Steam, and I haven't even touched any of them yet. There's this game, Hermit and the Pig. You know about this Hermit and the Pig game?
I don't know about this Hermit Pig game.
This is one that I've had on my list for a long ass time. Seems kind of Earthboundy, but just finally came out. Just like this morning, they were like, "Hey, Hermit and the Pig is out." And I'm like, "Well, I gotta buy this. I've had it on my list forever." Yeah, it seems like very kind of like a weird, quirky Earthboundy RPG, but just one of those where I'm like, I didn't even realize it was coming out this month. But I don't know. Hopefully I'll get time to play it. But
I sent you that code for a game yesterday I'd never heard of. You're like, yes, I've been waiting for it. I was like, really?
Oh yeah, yeah. There's just so many of these fucking things. Yeah, and then we're just a few weeks away from Resi releasing, Resi 9, and yeah, it's a lot of stuff. I mean, a good problem to have, but it's a lot of stuff.
There's a game called Norse Oath of Blood that's coming out in like 2 weeks. Definitely not a you game. It's a me game. It's a turn-based tech game. Ooh. But I just saw like this overview trailer for it and it looked fucking dope. And I'm like, now I want to play that. And then they showed up in my inbox with a code. I'm like, all right, here I am.
Yes. The games never stop. Yeah, there's a lot. One could say there's too much. Also, speaking of, before we wrap up on Dragon Quest VII, Brad L, thank you so much in the Patreon, sent a message saying, we've had several turn-based RPGs come out recently, Dragon Quest VII, Octopath Traveler 0, as well as indies like Kingdoms of the Dump and Escape from Ever After. Who would you say that each of these are for, or if you only have time for one or two of the games, what should you prioritize playing? Yeah, I mean, that's tough because they all feel like they have their own distinct flavor. Like Escape from Ever After is for people who like Paper Mario. Like that is unabashedly for Paper Mario fans. Kingdoms of the Dump, which we made a video for last year, is feels like kind of a lost Super Nintendo RPG. So if that's the kind of flavor of RPGs you really like, I've never been a big Octopath Traveler guy, so Octopath Traveler 0, I don't have too much to say. I think that's more of a me thing than an Octopath thing. And then I think Dragon Quest VII is for the people who who are Dragon Quest fans. Like that is it's hard to, or it's easy to forget because in the US Dragon Quest just doesn't have a ton of sway, but like in Japan it is like a cultural phenomenon. Like it is arguably bigger than Final Fantasy. So yeah, I mean, of those, honestly, I would point you towards the indies. I think Kingdoms of the Dump and Escape from Ever After are probably, I loved both of them. So yeah. Good ass games though. Nick, you been playing and or watching anything else?
Yeah, I I forgot to update our documents, so you don't know what I've been playing.
Dun.
I did want to follow up on High Guard
Oh,
because I've
nice.
been playing a bunch of that actually. Weirdly enough, I was a bit on it in my unpacked video, and then
Sure.
the day that went out, they put out the 5v5 mode, and
I
was
completely
like,
forgot. I was gonna bring that up newswise, but I'm glad you brought it up now.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, they, obviously their player count isn't looking very strong. I think it's down to like 3,000 people. Not sure what they're gonna do to bring people back into it, but uh, maybe it's doing better on consoles. Like Steam's only part of the picture.
Sure.
But yeah, they added in the 5v5 mode, and my opinion on the game immediately went from it's okay to man, I'm actually having a lot of fun with this.
Nice.
My buddy and I have been playing it a lot. The 5v5 like really does flesh out the map. The problem I had with the three phases, if you don't know, if you haven't played this game, is you start, you build some reinforce your base a little bit. You go out and you loot, try to get better loot. Then you fight over the shield breaker. It's like a capture the flag type thing. You take the shield breaker to the other team's base, try to get it to their wall, insert it, and then the raid starts. So the problem with 3v3 was like there just wasn't enough action going on in that fight over the shield breaker phase. Like it was too easy, in my opinion, to just wipe out the team and then get it to the wall. But now with 5v5, like getting that shield breaker to the wall on either side is a battle of attrition, of making sure you're managing your spawns correctly and working together to flank the other team and cut them off if they're rushing to the wall. So it added a lot of strategy, and like playing with friends and communicating is a good time. And then the actual raids too, like 5v5, way harder with 5 people. Obviously, a lot more going on, a lot more chaos. And we've just had a lot of moments of like nail biter, plants at the last second to try to get the win.
I know a lot of people were
I
saying initial impressions that the maps felt very big and that it felt like it needed more than 3v3. Do you think, like playing 5v5, does it feel like the maps are a little more lively now?
Oh yeah. 5v5 definitely fixes that, because like what I talked about in Unpacked was, like there was no risk to going to get any of the loot. And now that people are starting to learn the points of interest on the map, and I think the patch they put out today made those points of interest even more important, because there's like even higher scale weapons that you can get there, and so people will be fighting over getting those better weapons. So yeah, it like they ended up making 5v5 permanent. Like they've been really quick on the feedback loops. So this like I said in my video, like this, I think this game has the bones to be something really good. Whether or not they get that chance now, I don't know. Just because the player count does keep dwindling. And as a free to play game that relies on microtransactions, a few thousand players is okay. I don't really know what they need to stay afloat, but see.
Yeah, but if it starts kind of dipping below that, then it's a little, that's worrisome.
Yeah, like I said, I think they're gonna have to add a mode that is more casual and less sweaty. I think they're gonna have to get people back in. I don't think any new heroes is gonna do it. I don't think any new map is gonna do it. I think they need to reintroduce people to the game in a way that is more open. And I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah, introducing new heroes and new maps feel like it's great for the current players and for people who've kind of dropped off to come back. It doesn't feel like that's not a perk that will really draw in new players, right?
Yeah, I mean, I did that video on Unpacked. I was like, nobody gives a shit about your heroes. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like the brand new IP, brand new game, every game has heroes now. Like there's nothing unique about these heroes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's tough too that it bleeds into what we've been saying, what we were just saying in the previous, topic of there's just so many goddamn games right now, not just backlog stuff, but just a cool indie comes out 3 times a week. We're getting the big AAA games now. Nioh 3 just came out. Code Vein. We got Mario Tennis is coming soon, and the High on Life, and obviously Resi Requiem Marathon's coming soon. Which, I mean, who knows if that's going to make a splash? But they've been seemingly trying to kind of bring that back.
PR on it seems much more positive the last few weeks, and they're going to do their beta and everything. So
yeah,
I don't know. I always say, I never count Bungie out with those types of things. Like,
sure,
I think they've got enough of a dedicated fan base, and it's also a premium game, so it doesn't need a million active players to stay alive. That's the thing. Like, I don't think, unfortunately for Highguard, I don't think it would have sold well if it was a premium game. Now that it's a free-to-play game, everybody's focused on the player counts, and as that narrative kind of gets spiraling of like the game's dead, then it keeps people from wanting to try it or even give it a chance.
Sure, like a self-fulfilling prophecy of like, well, why would I want to spend time on something that why do I want to? What if I don't want to fall in love with a restaurant that might close in 6 months? That kind of thing.
Exactly. Like that's the because I was so excited about that Wildgate game from Dreamhaven. It was the kind of Sea of Thieves in space.
Yeah.
And like there's people playing it, but it not that many, and sometimes it can be hard to find a match. And when your player counts dwindle that much, you start to not have the balance that you need to not just like bring new people in that aren't just getting their asses handed to them by sweaties.
Yeah.
So like Wildgate's like one of those games I was really excited about, and it just never took off player count wise, and I have not touched it, and I'm annoyed because I really liked it.
What's the it's called Out of Action? There's a
Out of Action.
Yeah, an indie Out of Action, an indie PvP shooter came out a few weeks ago, January 22nd. And I've seen it's in early access, and I've seen some people who I know are like big old shooter heads being like, "Oh, this is actually fucking legit." Have you played this at all?
Yeah, I haven't played. We have the God, they need better key art. I have played the demos that they've put out.
Okay.
But the movement and the shooting and everything in that game feels incredible. Like it is I don't know. Like Call of Duty has like its Omni movement system. This feels so much better than even that from an indie studio.
Yeah, it almost feels like
it's really cool.
The diving and everything feels like Max Payne. Like it kind of, but in like a fast-paced first-person capacity. So I don't know. I'm intrigued by the game.
A skill-based movement shooter is what that is, and that game it's dope. I don't know how well it's going to do, but so many of those indie FPS games are huge, and nobody in our space really talks about them, but there's a lot of them.
Yeah. But that also is just, obviously these are it's a very different game than a Highguard or a Marathon or anything. But like, ultimately, I think there's a finite amount of people out there looking to play a competitive shooter, and kind of a little bit of a newsy thing, but you remember Battalion 1944? I know. I believe I remember it because you've talked about it. Yeah, it was from the studio called Bulkhead Interactive. It actually that was like one of the weirdest things about that game is that Square Enix published it back when it was a thing. It was Kickstarter funded, and Square Enix published Battalion 1944. Weird. But that studio has been quietly working on a new like kind of Battlefield competitor called War Dogs, and they finally revealed it today, and it looks fucking dope. It's not a game you'd be interested in at all, but it's 100 players, 3 teams fighting over cash. It's got destruction, it's got vehicles, it's got everything that people want from Battlefield. They're taking playtest signups now, but this game immediately jumped up my one to watch radar today. It's like, it looks really good. That's cool as hell. Always cool to see indies like that really break through. I guess I don't know if it's indie, if it technically had Square Enix publishing it, but Square Enix isn't publishing War Dogs. That was just gotcha. They did their previous. That was a decade ago. Yeah, but this is a huge step up. Team 17 is publishing this one actually. Oh wow, which is weird. Team 17 has become like one of the better FPS publishers in the space.
because they publish Hell Let Loose and
Yeah.
publishing
I guess
this.
there's not really a big kind of indie shooter publisher right out there. So it does feel like
Team 17 is known for worms.
Yeah, I know, I agree, but everyone's growing out of somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also cool to see the Outer Sloth publishing grow as well. The Among Us publishing label that kind of took the success of Among Us and is sharing the wealth by publishing other games. I think that's super cool.
Yeah. Phasmophobia dubs are doing that too now.
See, that rules. More of that, please. Yeah. Waiting for Seaman 2. Thank you so much for the dono. You two need to stream Gate Guard Simulator. Imagine Papers, Please, but in a Kingdom Come Deliverance world. I haven't heard of this one. I've heard there's like a lot of Papers, Please-ish games out there, but I didn't hear this one. Why? Oh, it's not out yet, I don't think.
It's not even out.
Oh, there's a play test.
Requested.
Sure enough, this does look like Papers, Please, but in a Kingdom Come Deliverance-esque world. Looks silly.
This screenshot number 7. Look at this guy, this goober.
He's extremely gooby. I love it. This actually looks fun. Yeah, that's my list. Looks fun. Appreciate that, Recco. Waiting for Seaman. We appreciate you waiting for Seaman as well. Have you played or watched anything else?
Wrapped up season 2 of Fallout, and I made a post about I really love the Fallout show. I think they've done such a fantastic job with it, and it makes me extremely angry at how badly they fucked up Halo.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Why couldn't you have just given?
We know how to make good video game adaptation shows. How did you fuck up Halo? What are we doing?
You didn't have one of the Nolans behind it.
No, you just said a bunch of people saying we know better. No, you don't.
Lack of clear showrunner vision. Yeah. I'm 3 episodes into season 2, and I'm still really enjoying it. And I like that, I have more of a knowledge of New Vegas, so I'm seeing more and more things that I recognize from the game.
Yeah, I truly none of the video game adaptation shows have made me want to go back to play the games that they're based on. But season 2 of Fallout has actually done that for me, that I'm actually invested in the lore now of Fallout's world. And I'm like, did I just not give Fallout 4 enough time to really hook me? Because I've never finished it because I always get bored with it. And now I'm like, wait a second, there's some really cool fucking stories here. Why did I skip this?
Yeah.
And then I know I'm going to get back. I know the guy's going to try to get me to join the Minutemen, Harvey Preston, and I'm going to tell him to go fuck himself. And I'm going to uninstall the game again.
I'm going to be honest, playing the show or watching the show, it does, a small part of me is like, should I play more of these games? And then I quickly slap my hand away because I'm like, there's too many of these games. There's too many of them.
Give Obsidian Fallout 5. Just let them do it. You can't.
I kind of want to go back and play Fallout 1. I kind of want to go back and play this crunchy shit. I get 10 seconds into it. I'm like, oh, I actually don't want this. I don't want this at all. Maybe I'll just watch a bunch of videos on Fallout 1 and 2. There you go. That's pretty much.
Is there? I mean, you ended up liking New Vegas for its story. Is there a reason you're not trying Fallout 3 or 4?
Because I didn't like the gameplay, and there's plenty of games I have on my list that I do like the gameplay.
You didn't like the gameplay in New Vegas. I was like, wait, what?
No, I wasn't crazy about it. I liked that. I liked the story. I liked the world, and I had fun playing it with Jess and Jack. But the gameplay really didn't do too much for me. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just gotta get it on my Steam Deck or something. Then I can kind of absentmindedly wander around the world. But
maybe
no. Anything else?
No, that's it.
I'm sure there's plenty of stuff you can't talk about on the game side.
And there's so busy this week.
No, seriously. Not too much new from me either. Obviously, I talked about Cairn and Dragon Quest VII, which are the big things I've been playing. Still watching Fallout, and then we'll have more of it on Tuesday's episode of the Rewind. But still really loving Wonder Man. excellent. Give it a high recommendation, and then really enjoying Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Still after 3 episodes, so
I'm really enjoying that too. Yeah,
yeah, really good.
Did not like.
Good
I
start
did
of the
not
year.
like them breaking her finger. Did not like that.
Oh yeah, that was bad. Yeah,
I was like, what the fuck? That like I don't care about intestines getting ripped out. I don't care about any of that stuff. The breaking the finger was too much for me.
also, the first 2 episodes had a nice shitting behind a tree, had a nice old guy's fat hog, and then all of a sudden this episode just has someone getting their finger broken. I'm like, this isn't fun. The other 2 were fun.
Yeah.
Let someone shit behind a tree. Yeah, the show's delightful. The cast is so fucking good. I like that it just all takes place at this one tourney. Yeah, really, really enjoying it. Team's good. And Wonder Man
from Star Wars doing stuff like that.
Yeah. No, we're getting Mandalorian Grogu. It'll be fine with the guy from the Bear as a hut.
I'll put my hands up. I'm excited for the Darth Maul show.
Darth Maul showed that trailer did look cool. that trailer did look cool. I will say that trailer did look very cool.
Eric, stop it! Get that off my screen.
No, it's happening. Yeah, I think that'll. Oh, we had one more super chat from Shinzu. Thank you so much for a £5 dono. I've had the recent urge to play some old Pokemon games totally 100% legally. Could you please tell me your preferred GBA and DS emulators? I don't even know which. I think I just Google best
which is the
emulator.
Best one.
Yeah, I mean, I think like GBA. I think any device will run anything at this point. It's funny that you mentioned DS emulators though, because I am intrigued. I've been seeing a lot of people hyping this up. I like my little pocket emulators, my little Retroid Pocket and whatnot. This new one came out, the AYN Thor. I put a link to it in the chat, and it's a Android emulator, but it has the clamshell design of a DS. And all the reviews of it were like, this thing is like fucking incredible. It feels great. It plays it plays DS games wonderfully. It plays single screen games wonderfully. So I'm intrigued by this.
$50.
Yeah, but no. The version I want that's $450. You gotta get that Max 16 plus 1 TB. Looks great though.
These things like I see these ads all the time for like these types of devices that come like preloaded with all the games. Like, is that
so?
What they
these like
do?
This doesn't.
Okay.
This will come fresh.
Really nice
this is just like a
this thing.
Yeah. The screen is supposedly great. 2 OLED screens. Yeah. There are those ones you could see like on Amazon where it's like, no, buy the thing and it comes with 10,000 games and stuff. But no, like a thing like this would just come fresh, and you would need to, these kind of emulators, you need to put in the work at the front to kind of set up. But once they're set up, I love my little pocket. I love my little pocket boys. I'm gonna add this to my Pocket Boy collection. That's so much money.
Why
I was gonna say I'll use my tax return, and then I realized like, because this is 2 screens, dog. How many screens do I got on my Steam Deck? 1, like a chump.
Just connect a portable monitor.
Connect a portable monitor. Jesus. Also, it's on sale. It's not $459. It's $449. So it'd be dumb not to buy it. I was going to say I'll use my tax return on it, and then I forgot. No, I'm not going to use my tax return on it because I'm going to pay 5 figures in taxes. It's a nightmare. Everything's a nightmare. It's fine. No one's crying.
I was really excited because I had a lawyer on retainer for a thing, and I got my money back.
Ooh, that's always
and
good.
Then I immediately had to turn around and spend it on vet costs for both my dogs because they both needed shots. And I want to know why shots cause so much fucking money, Marty. I want to know.
Pharmaceutical industry is a racket and is just here to make money off the pain and suffering of everyone.
It's like this much liquid.
Sure.
And hundreds of dollars. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah. We're a broken country. That's what we're doing. I don't know if it's any better anywhere else, but certainly not good here. Shout the dogs. I think that'll probably be it for us this week. We'll keep it a little bit shorter in case he's not here, and but a relatively positive episode. Nick, what do you? Obviously, a big thing on your plate tomorrow. Folks should look out for is your episode of Impact that you and Eric will have for tomorrow morning.
Yep. More of a ranty episode about AI. This whole Genie 3 thing, and the lack of any word from big publishers about this thing, like just outputting their games, is kind of wild to me. So spent a little time ranting about that this week.
Yeah, Nintendo will shut down a Smash Melee charity stream, but
Yeah.
won't go to them.
Yeah. And then I'll be back on a stream for the first time in a while on Tuesday with Jenna. We playing some Nioh 3.
Nice.
Play from my PC save because I'm way farther on PS5. So I'll be able to just show the game as you start, but we won't start from the tutorial area because that's boring. So we'll be right in the meat of the game.
Yeah, that'll be Tuesday after the rewind.
And my big project right now is putting together the Second Wind Game Showcase, which we've announced for April 23rd, 2026.
Hell yeah. Coming soon. That's very exciting. And then, tomorrow we'll have a new episode of DevHeads with the crew, normal noon Central Time, so tune in for that. And then, next week we should have our normal streams throughout the week. I think the plan is Casey is still out next week, but the plan is I think for Nick to join me for the Wednesday night stream. We have something fun planned, so tune in for that. And then all the other stuff. I think that's it. We did a great job. Oh my god, what a nice show! We didn't get into any fights. This is it.
Anime.
We've done this before. Casey was out before, and we were like, Casey's the one who drags us down. Even though that's clearly not true. I think it's just a third person drags us down. It doesn't matter who the third person is. It just creates chaos.
There's about 20 minutes every episode dedicated to whatever Casey's watching anime-wise. You guys get into your anime discussion. That's 20 minutes that my brain goes into the void.
Best 20 minutes of every episode. But thank you guys so much. Everyone who tuned in live on YouTube, watched the VOD, listened on your podcast service of choice. Anyone who donated super chats, and all of our patrons. We appreciate each and every one of you. So for Nick and Eric, this was Marty. This was Firelink episode number 98. Thank you all so much. Everyone have a great rest of your Thursday, and we'll see y'all next time. Bye, everyone.
We gotta plan something special for episode 100.
It's coming soon. In case he was
2 weeks, we gotta get planning.
We're not gonna plan anything. Bye, guys.